Okay, so here we are on the 1st of January 1471, and we've made decent progress with Hisyn Kayfa. Our truce is up with Karakanlu in May, and we're going to be jumping in on them immediately. So just a quick update on the geopolitical situation here. The Ottomans have gotten their claims on Karaman and Kandar, so they're going to be going after that relatively soon. I'm expecting to see a war between the Mamluks and the Ottomans sooner rather than later. They've warned us, but that's okay as long as we keep pushing east into people that don't have borders with the Ottomans. So if we were trying to do the war against Georgia now, we wouldn't be able to. The Ottomans would come in and they'd crush us. We have unlocked our first idea group, but we're very far behind in everything except for Miltech. So we're probably going to end up taking a military idea here. The reason I haven't yet is because our heir is abysmal. He's a 160. I'm debating doing the disinherit here because it's less of a penalty than abdicating once he's of age, and we wouldn't be able to do that for quite a while. But a 160 is pretty unacceptable for our current situation, so we are going to disinherit, and we're going to wait until May and declare war on Karakanlu. Mamluk should come in. We're not going to call in Ajam. The reason being, are they actually at war with them right now? No, just Mushasha. Did Mushasha attack? Defender against Ajam. Okay, so Ajam attacked Mushasha, and Karakanlu is only allied with Mazarandan. Right. Okay, that all makes sense. Let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to this war soon. The reason we don't want Ajam in this war is because Ajam wants Karakanlu Northern Territory, and what we want right now is Karakanlu Northern Territory. The reason we want the north instead of the south is because if you go look at the Mamluks here, they consider some of the southern land to be vital interest provinces, strategic utility, things like that. We have no desire to get our only ally, well, our strongest ally, mad at us. So we're going to be moving north, trying to get to the Caspian Sea, going after Biapos, going after Mazarandan, and then trying to use that to get ourselves strong enough to take on Ajam, take over part of Persia, which is very nice in terms of silk and cloth goods, spices, even some paper, and we should be able to get strong enough here to at least get into the mid-game without dying, which is crucially important if you want to survive as Hisyn Kayfa. So, a lot of other countries don't have that same pressure that we do to expand rapidly at the start. For example, France starts pretty much capped with their governing capacity. Poland is really not that far off from things like that. Does look like they've gotten Danzig. Yeah. Interesting. Or Teutonic Order. But we have to move, and we're not in something like the Empire where we're limited not by our governing cap, but by our aggressive expansion because of the inside the Empire penalties. So that's good. We have a little bit more free reign than most. Let's go ahead and make this for the conquest of Melekits. Call in the Mamluks, and we'll go in. And the reason I did this for the conquest of Melekits is because 1, it's a Highlands province, 2, it's right by our border, 3, there's no fort defending it. So we should be able to take this. We won't have to keep a siege on a fort to keep it occupied. And it's right next to their capital at Tabriz. It does look like maybe they've deleted a fort or two. Nothing too major though. Not quite sure. So we'll be moving Melekits, and then we'll move down to Tabriz, trying to take their capital from them. We could also carpet siege in the north, but I want to make sure that their army isn't a problem before we do that, before we split up, because right now, half of our army here is the Free Company. We had to do that in the last one. In the last episode, we switched away from, and then back to, using mercenaries. And the reason was, it looked cheaper with the Free Company sort of needing extra time to recover their strength. But then we got so many revolts that we... Oh, that's attached. That we had no choice but to go back to a mercenary-based army. frankly, our manpower was just ground right through. So we will do a little bit of carpet sieging here. Karakanlu does not know where to go because they're surrounded and outnumbered by us in the north, outnumbered by the Mamluks in the south, and that's exactly what we want. So this is good. We did take the age ability for minus 10% aggressive expansion impact. That's just because I am a little bit worried at the prospect of the Mamluks being able to join a coalition against us. I don't want it to be an option. I don't want it to be something that we hit, accidentally, taking a little bit too much land in a war after this one that we didn't expect them to care about. And then that ends up, we fight a war, but we can't actually take the land, yada yada, right? So hopefully we'll beat them here. No, okay, they stopped. Mazarandan army. Standing on Tabriz would be a little bit dangerous right now. Let's reconsolidate at Khoi. Actually, how was it? Let's stand on Tabriz and get this fort going. We do want military leader, which we don't have because we disinherited our heir. We haven't gotten a new one. Yeah, I mean, rolling the dice again, even with the negative effects we get from not having an heir come of age when we die, is really not as bad as being stuck with the 160 for, what, 20-30 years, potentially? Unfortunately, this is slowing our sieges down. We had an heir for a while who was a 3322 general, and that was pretty amazing to watch. Let's see. So we could call in Ajam now if we had the favors, and we don't because we spent them all. Refused offensive wars gives minus 0.08. That's okay. Ajam is there to defend us now, not anything else, not offensively useful to us anymore. And this looks to be going okay. Mamluks have 1531 general. They probably won't need my help in this fight because Mazarandan did run away, so even though they're attacking into a mountain, it should be okay here. But I say that, let's see if it actually happens that way. Of course they roll a 0, but followed up with 9. Yeah, that battle worked alright. I want to take as much as we can from Karakanlu, and then we'll start fabricating in Biapas, so that as soon as this war is over, we can go in after Biapas. Great Horde and Gazikimuk. That would actually be a decent way of going after Gazikimuk. Let's take a look at Shirvan. Mazarandan. You know what? We're going to go after Shirvan first, because if we can take on Shirvan, we have a land connection to Gazikimuk. We'll fight Gazikimuk when we fight Biapas, and that'll actually allow us to circumvent the Ottoman alliance with Gazikimuk if we play our cards right. We can take that land. Well, do I even want that land? It's a great question. So, Dagestan, the state of Dagestan, is over the border with Astrakhan. So, I really... Yeah. It's not in a trade node that would help us. It's not high development. We might be better off just ignoring them, so I'm actually going to change my mind again. We'll fight them off because we have to, but that's really not as much of a barrier as I thought it would be to our expansion. So we'll go back to building here. This war shouldn't last all that much longer. As soon as Mosul falls, the Mamluks should move over to Elam. Which, by the way, reminds me, as always, of that wonderful movie. The name of which is, of course, escaping me, but I think it's... Oh, The Emperor's Club, right. I'm Shutruk Nahunte, sovereign of the land of Elam, yada yada. Great movie, that. Okay, so 6,000 Mazarandan men here, 10,000, potentially 11,000 Karakanlu, and moving up. That will be very painful if it hits us. I can't believe we still have our starting ruler. He's 60. On the other hand, okay, so we can't do that again for 2 years. We have 98 piety, so we're 98 points toward legalism. Tax modifier, manpower modifier are quite helpful. We've actually gone back up 5,000 men during this war. We're not going to help the that's weird. I was predicting a fight there. If they both arrive on the same day, sometimes people can escape, actually having the fight happen. Which is a little bull, but, you know, what can you do? We'll assign Alam to the Mamluks, and there they go, they're sieging. Might not need it. Can't see how much we can take, because I do want to curry favors here. I do want to build in Biapas for as long as we can. We do have a sea connection, so we'll actually be able to fabricate on both of their provinces at once. Well, not at once, but one after another. And once we sort of move over here, that does set the stage for going after Ajam, potentially even allying the Timurids. Quite strong. Let's see what their vassal Liberty Desire. Okay. They'll probably lose their vassals, so they're not as strong as they have first appeared. All of their vassals are disloyal. Which means we don't want to ally them at all, because if we do, and their vassals go after them, I swear, I mean, the Timurid starting situation should be so easy. The fact that the AI can't do it is, frankly, a little embarrassing. But it is what it is, so let's look. Religions, Coptic, Shia. We'll be dropping our religious unity even more. We really need this missionary to finish quickly. Let's see. No, nobody that would be useful for that. And we are going to have revolts again because of the autonomy lowering that we did, which is a little unfortunate. We're going to do that. More loans, more loans. If we do end up going bankrupt, it'll be from surprise loan cap hitting from overextension. We have 16. Shouldn't be an issue. And much of those are 54 ducats. So it really shouldn't be an issue, but it might be. We'll have to see. Okay, so we're up to 556. Not terrible. If you look at the Renaissance... Why are we not... That's obnoxious. Cyprus stopped having good relations with the Mamluks, which means that the Mamluks are no longer getting Renaissance from Cyprus. Yeah. 16 points. Are you kidding me? Sucks. On the other hand, 5% army professionalism, we lose 20 ducats, but that army professionalism is worth its weight in gold. 74% against Karakanlu here. Might be worth starting to look at peace deals, although we'll get Alam here relatively soon. May as well wait. Frankly, even if the Mamluks lose this fight, which it looks like they might, that weakens the Karakanlu army, which means that we'll go up in willingness to sign pieces anyway. Yeah, let's wait for that siege, unless it starts being utterly obnoxious. Which I don't think it will, because the siege phase modifier is still going up to 12 here, so that can go up to about 49, 63%. Without interference. We're not going to even fight their army at this point, we don't really need to. Let's see. Please fall. Yep, okay, there it is. I swear, the AI are the only people who can actually get 21% sieges to work. So if we took their money, we would get a little less than 50% of what we request. So what we can do instead is, let's just take land. All the land. Karakanlu and Shirvan. See if we can take Tabriz, we can. Okay, there we actually see a coalition. But let's look at it. Karakanlu will have a truce with us for a while, so they're in it. They will matter eventually, but not right now. Shirvan is a 1-province minor. Gizikimuk is a 3-province minor. Mazarandan, or wait, which one's Gizikimuk again? Right, yeah, 3-province minor up there. Mazarandan, Biapas, basically everybody in this little corner of the map. That could be a problem for us, but I think the power spike is worth it. We could probably fight them off even if our allies didn't come in, but I don't want to have to fight them all in a coalition war in our next war, which we probably will have to do if we do this peace deal. Let's look at Tabriz. Okay, so we're not getting the whole state. happens if I do? So I can take the whole state. That would honestly be amazing. We'd nearly double our territory here. Let's go for it, because then we don't have to worry about anything with them for a while, and we might even be able to stop expanding for a little while. Once we get that development. 7 turn, as we have their forts as well as our own. We will need to back up the Mamluks in order to get a good victory here. They might retreat before we do. But, yeah, okay, so they were actually wiped out. Yeah, because their military was wiped out, now we can do this peace deal. Let's just make sure there's no Ottomans. There's no Ottomans. Biapus will fall out of it pretty quick. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take that. This is why we take the minus 10%. Because look at that peace deal. I'm very happy, man. It killed our Diplo power. It's going to chew through all of our admin and then some. But this is a lot of development. If we take a look at our religious unity, down to 29%, which is absolutely horrifyingly low. We're going to have a bunch of revolts on our hands here. And we're going to be paying a bunch of money while we're at it. But if we look at our loans, 117 ducats each, right? So let's take one of those loans, and now we'll start consolidating the 54s, even with the estates. Because we can retake the estate loans, and that will pay for itself immediately. Into the Merchants Guild. Yes, we're going to spike our inflation again by doing this. But we'll avoid bankruptcy. And avoiding bankruptcy is the name of the game at this moment. I mean, 117 ducat loans are actually relatively functional, right? We can do things with money in that increment. So take a look at our loans here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are well over 1,000. Well, not well over. We're over 1,000 ducats in debt, it looks like. Yeah, that is. That's a lot. That's quite a lot. And the yearly cost is adding up as well. If we look at our, it's a little bit bugged right now. We probably need to roll over the month before it'll tell us our interest payment again. Unless I just completely missed it there. And our free company was actually resized yet again. But I don't want to get rid of that right now. If we take a look in, yeah, we could get it up to 15,000 men from just the free company. That's our entire army, actually. So instead of paying 4.08, we could pay 2.61 and have 15,000 men. So the 16,000 we currently do. It's cheaper, it's more powerful. 170 ducat investment, though, makes that pay off a little bit slower than it looks like. And they are slightly less capable as well. So we want prestige of at least 10, that should recover decently quickly. We've already recovered it a little bit from disinheriting that heir. And if we take a look at our aggressive expansion... ooh. See, why did it not show that they would join? Maybe because of their positive opinion? They now officially desire our provinces. Which ones? Right. Yeah, okay. As long as they're positive, I guess they won't join a coalition. But we need to be improving relations with them right now. We need to get that, stop taking my soldiers. I don't have many to give. My manpower pool is less than a quarter full. Asshole. Okay. Well, nothing we can do about it. But we should be able to seize land again soon. And we lost crown land from that conquest. That's annoying. Should have sold, I guess. Sale of titles now will get us 233, but it will drop us below what we can reasonably have. We've been down to 12, we'll be taking autonomy penalties again. Okay, so John's going against Karakanlu. we can now fabricate on Biapas. Should have probably done the other one first, but okay, good. Debase currency and drop our corruption. Gives us a bit of padding for the economy. Yeah, these guys are having a rough day. If we look at their cores, I mean, yeah, they were in a good spot. Now they're not. Jam will certainly be our next target. They are allied with Nogai and the Mamluks. Okay, so they might not be feasible. It's a good alliance chain. Maybe we could get the Mamluks to break with them? What's their opinion? So, I don't know. We'll have to be out of. Yeah, that's gonna be hard. Just maintain that. Even if we got them to reduce their opinion of Sham, it wouldn't be enough to break that alliance. It wouldn't send them negative. So, unfortunately, the alliance system that we forged is proving to be resilient, which is, we want that for ourselves, but we don't want that for the other members of the alliance. Well, 20 toward legalism, but we can't afford keeping on paying that prestige price, so I guess we'll move toward mysticism. I think it's meant to band you a little bit, so whichever one you're closer to, it'll push you to the other one by event, with things like that. Yeah, currently turning into a core. All of that lovely, lovely land. That spiked us up to 225 development, which is pretty nice, assuming we can actually core it. Or state it, rather. If we take a look at our governing capacity, we go up to 200, but, you know, including our home state, that's actually a bit more flexible than that. And we need 300 development to get up to kingdom, so we'll probably have to wait until we get more governing cap. It's in a couple of techs, so now is the time to stabilize, to convert some of these provinces, to get our religious unity up, to get a little bit more out of our bad economic situation than we currently are. Which, that should happen when we core up some of these things and we can drop our maintenance as well, because I guess there's no reason to have the army maintenance on quite yet. You can also kill the forts until one of these guys is relatively close to rebelling. It looks like Armenia is going to be first, potentially, followed closely behind by Orthodox Zealots and Kars. I want that missionary to finish so that that will go away. Fun fact, by the way, about religious rebels. What is my demi-loyalty is always a problem. We will not give guaranteed demi-autonomy. So it would be nice, but I don't think we can afford it. The Emirs and the Ulema. Okay. See if we can do this. That would actually be pretty nice for us, but it doesn't give us loyalty. What we need right now is loyalty, so let's get a monopoly on mining and smelting. And then we can that's not what I was going for. We will turn a blind eye, which is a horrible decision, but let's grant out higher demi taxes, and we will promote the demi nobles. Okay, so all of that was stated. Good. Ooh, that'd actually be pretty nice. Our manpower pool would go up by probably about 12% once we've stated everything. Because, I mean, 20% buff wouldn't apply to everybody. But now, our demi loyalty equilibrium is 62.9%. So this will go up high enough we won't get rebellions when we seize land, which is excellent. We'll make states, so we can make Tabriz. And we're just barely able to... Nope, we can't, so... yeah, Tabriz itself isn't fully stated. Okay, we're making money now. We have our forts turned off and our army is turned off, but we're making money. It's more than we used to be able to say. Whoa, truce with Mamluks? They're still our allies. I wonder why. Okay, I don't know. That's weird. Ajam, are they winning or losing? Ajam is losing. Good. Good. If Ajam loses that war to Karakonlu, they might break off with the Mamluks. They might be forced to. Be excellent for us. Let's go ahead and convert in Mariga. Although that's, well, yeah, it is faster significantly. So I guess we have to do that way. And it does look like Armenia will be first. Let's go up to 4 since this is a little bit just sort of bookkeeping type work. I'm not going to start paying off loans until we're farther above the new loans we'd be taking, because when I increase the fort maintenance again for the army maintenance for these rebels, we will see an increase in our maintenance costs, but we can just turn on selective forts here. So we turn on the fort in Kars, that protects Yerevan and Bayezid. There's no way to protect this third province, so that's the one that we're going to stand in, as usual. And we will recruit a general. That's actually terrible for us right now. Okay, fun fact. Always take this event. It's always worth it. 0.5 inflation for 50 administrative power. If you look over at your economic screen, it costs you base 75 to decrease by 2, right? So you get 2/3 of what you need to decrease 4 times what the increase in your inflation is. So always take that event. It's always worth it. And we will actually use that to lower our inflation by 2%. If we were down at 0 right now, we'd be making quite a bit of money. If we didn't have loans right now, we'd be making quite a bit of money. But there's nothing we can do about that. Oh, really? Okay. So I moved toward mysticism so that we could balance our states a little bit better. Oh, okay, they moved up quicker than I thought they would. But we'll be able to seize land here relatively shortly. As soon as we do that, by the way, we're probably going to be selling titles. Take ourselves a little bit out of debt here. Okay, there we go. 363, but he's 0, which means that... So, he's at 363, but he's 0 years old, which means that if he dies, if our ruler dies before he comes of age, of course that's fine, we won't actually get that 363 that I would love to have as our ruler on our throne, because, oh shoot, I really missed the boss on that spy network. Just go back to fabricating on Karakonlu. I think we will avoid war until we're ready to go in on them again. We can only 2 more provinces we can take on. So the guy that we want, oh, that was really bad. That smacked our main army instead of the Free Company, because I forgot to attach them. Oh, everyone makes mistakes. As soon as this is not occupied, we can seize land. Okay, there's the seized land. There's the sell titles. We are getting a little bit of autonomy a month, which is not great. But it should be balanced out by our being at peace modifier. So if we look in here, yeah, it is. So we won't be losing autonomy in recently stated places, which is not great. We're not going to be gaining it either. And we'll be able to seize land here in another, 5 or 10 years? 5 years, so not even all that long. Our truce is up with Karakonlu in 1488. Yeah, that's terrible. And Ajam is losing hard. So Karakonlu might actually take some Ajami land, or break their alliance there. Both of those are good for us. Let's see, our double separatists. Let's go here, let's turn off this fort, we don't need it anymore. And let's take a look. So we can enact government reform. That's going to be... I might actually go with decentralized bureaucracy here, because we need more promoted cultures in order to convert things. Usually I would always go with centralized because the autonomy change is good, but yeah, So let's take decentralized. We're going to be promoting a bunch of cultures. We will actually get a payoff for that in, I don't know if it's the next stage, or I don't know if it's Reformation or Absolutism. One of the two of them gives you bonuses if you have more than, I think, 5 celebrated cultures. So with Tech 8 plus that +2 bonus there, we'll be able to do that easily. So let's go ahead and state Shervan and core everything that we can. Good. That's another rebellion killed. And Karakanlu separatists. That's drylands, mountains, but mountains in Koi are protected by Tabriz. So we'll go over to Urmia. They're too close to going for me to want to pop those guys. Attach here as first army, like we should have before. Now we're making a ducat. A ducat a month is pretty good, so let's go over here, start working on our actual economy. This is all crap. But we'll buy those two because the 0.12 is at least something. I'll take that. Every 10 ducats counts. Admin dev cost, aggressive expansion, dev cost. So I'm less worried about these two, shock damage received and given right now. Admin tech cost might actually be pretty nice, but we're going to stay with the aggressive expansion because I want to be a little bit safer on that than we were. Ottomans can no longer join, they're down to 49, but Bajam is getting mad at us, Timurids are getting a little bit mad at us. Even the Mamluks we're building a little bit with. Okay. So here, burning through a little bit of our manpower pool, but it's alright. We will provoke a revolt. 10 regiments is not too scary. And the quicker we can replace those losses and turn off our army maintenance, the quicker we can start really just letting our economy recover more fully. So, still a fair amount of loans. After Melik hits, there's no real revolts that I'm worried about. I completely forgot to pay attention to my spy network again, because I'm an idiot. But we still have 10 years before that will be ready anyway, so I'm thinking what we do is we start currying more favors with Mamluks instead of keeping our relation up at 84 with the Ottomans. They're still mad at us, and they will be pretty much forever, because now they want our provinces. It might be worth considering building another fort on Erzurum. Get ourselves another mountain fort near the Ottomans. We have one on the highlands here, it's our weak point in our lines, but this is all dry land. Yeah, so this is the best placed fort, even if it's not the most useful. And we're taking 117. Yeah, so we'll extend all this. Okay, go ahead and provoke. That's okay. Yeah, so Georgian is next. Again. Let's take a look at where we are. We're at 5. We can get, mysticism might help us out at this point for a little bit more missionary strength. We're almost done with the missionary in Mariga. And every province that we convert will help us with our revolt problems. But let's go ahead and decrease our army maintenance, making 1.85 ducats a month. Finally in the green there. Well, I guess in the black, is how it's described by economists. I might call this one at January 1st of this year. We did a very nice big war here. Hisyn Kayfa has never seen such success. Well, at least not while I've been playing it. Let's take a look. Who can we ally now? Oh yeah. So now we're actually getting into a respectable strength rating. I wonder how far we are away from getting somewhere like Hungary. Oh no, they're under a PDU, aren't they? Okay, that's bad. Ottomans went Miltech 7. because they have embraced the Renaissance. We have not, but we are getting it now in Georgia, parts of Georgia. Erzurum still our best bet at 52.5, and that is now getting from Trebizond. We might. Do they like us? They don't. We could make them like us, then they'd spread even faster to Altu and Erzurum. We'd have to stop building a spy network, but it'd probably be worth it, at least for a little while. Or not. Let's stop the currying favors there, and let's improve relations. And we can convert another province. The best bang for our buck is here at Ardabil, 4%, 59 months. Lose the prestige because we can't afford to lose the admin. Oh, and I've missed the time I said I was going to stop by 1 month, so I do apologize there. And we really need to embrace the Renaissance. But thanks for hanging around. We'll be back real soon.